Now, laws of motion. Here we will discuss how to solve the question based on laws of motion without considering friction. We will assume all the surface to be smooth. As we have already gone through Newton's first law, second law and third law. This first law is about the force. It is also called the law of inertia. Second law gives the measurement of force and third law gives the property of force. Now basically the force is divided into four parts. One is gravitational force. As we know, gravitational force means weight of the body. Weight of the body means mg, or we know F is equal to g m1 m2 by r square. This is the gravitational force which we will study under the heading gravitation. But here, now in this chapter, we will consider this weight, that is also called mg. The second force is electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force, the example of electromagnetic force is the tension in the string. The contact force means the normal reaction or the force exerted by a person on the wall. The friction force is also electromagnetic force. It is also a contact force. Spring force is also electromagnetic force. The force exerted by a spring is also electromagnetic in nature. The other force is buoyant force, drag force, viscous force. All these forces are electromagnetic in nature. The other force is nuclear force, which is responsible for holding the electron and proton inside the nucleus. So nuclear force is the strongest force known, but it is very short range force. When the separation between the two particles, means two proton or neutron, is 10 to power minus 15 meter, then only the nuclear force act. The weak forces. We have to discuss only gravitation and electromagnetic force. We will neglect these nuclear forces and weak forces, which we will discuss under the heading that is modern physics. Now, before entering the laws of motion, the question section of laws of motion, we have to discuss the steps involved to solve the problem in laws of motion. The first one step is decide your frame. In laws of motion, as we have seen in kinematics, we have to decide the frame, whether the frame is at rest or in motion. Now in laws of motion, we have to decide our frame, whether the frame is inertial or non-inertial. Means whether our frame is at rest or it is moving with some acceleration. If we are in inertial frame, then we have to consider only real forces. If we are in non-inertial frame, then we have to consider real forces as well as a force that is not real, it is a virtual force, that is called pseudo force. Now after deciding our frame, we have to draw the coordinate system. Means we have to draw our x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and we have to decide whether in which direction we are taking positive and in which direction we are taking negative. After that, we have to find the constant relation. There are two type of question in laws of motion. First, there exists constant and there is no constant. Think, if there is constant, then we have to find that constant relation between the motion of the two bodies. The fourth step is we have to draw the free body diagram, which we have already discussed in previous lecture. So now based on free body diagram, we will write the total force along x-axis, because we know total force F is equal to mass into acceleration. So the total force is a vector, so it says Fx is m into x. So we can see the total force along x-axis is mass of the body multiplied by acceleration along x-axis. The total force along y-axis is mass into acceleration of the body along y-axis. Summation of total force along z-axis is mass into acceleration of the body along z-axis. Based on these these three equations, we have to solve the question. So these four steps we will keep in mind while solving the question of laws of motion. Now we will start our questions. The first question is a very simple question. This is a Atwood machine. This is a block of mass 2 kg. This is a block of mass 4 kg. Now we have to find the acceleration of masses as shown in the figure. We have to find the acceleration of mass A and mass B. And we have to calculate the distance traveled by 4 kg body in 2 seconds. Now, first step is, we will solve this question while sitting on ground. With respect to ground, We will solve this question. Now with respect to ground, we have to draw the free body diagram of this block A. As we know how to draw the free body diagram, so this 4 kg block is a heavier block, so let's say its acceleration is A, and the acceleration of 2 kg block is also A upward. So the tension here is T in upward direction, tension here is in upward direction. The weight of this 4 kg block is 40 Newton, which will act downward, and this is 20 Newton. The weight of this 20 kg block will act vertically downward. Now we will draw the free body diagram. So after the first equation, our first equation is this block T minus mg means 20 is equal to mass means 2 into A. This is our first equation. Second equation for this block is, since it is going downward, so we will assuming this 40 Newton is bigger than T. So this 40 minus T is equal to 4A. Now these are the two equations. From these two equations, if we add first and second, then we get 40 minus 20 is equal to 6A, or A is equal to 20 by 6, that is equal to 10 by 3 meter per second square. This is the acceleration of block A or block B with respect to ground. Now the distance traveled by the body in first 2 seconds is, so we know S is equal to ut plus half A into T square, because here u is 0, so I can say distance is equal to 1 by 2, acceleration of the body is 10 by 3 into time is 2 seconds. So it is equal to 20 by 3 meter. This is the total distance traveled by the body. So this is the acceleration and this is the displacement of the body. Now with respect to ground, we have solved this. Now we will solve the same question, second method. With respect to, suppose an observer is sitting here. This is the observer who is sitting on block A. This block A is going upward with an acceleration A, and it is going downward with an acceleration A with respect to ground. With respect to now, if the observer is sitting on this block A, then he will draw the free body diagram of this block A. This is block A. The tension will act upward. The weight of this block A is acting downward, that is 20 Newton. And since this observer is going upward with an acceleration A, so pseudo force on this block A will appear downward, that is equal to 2 into A. And as seen by this observer O, this block A appears to be at rest. So we will say T must be equal to 20 plus 2A. This is our first equation. In the same way, if the same observer draw the free body diagram of this 4 kg block, the tension will act upward. This is block B. The weight of this block B is 40 Newton downward. Now the observer A is going upward, so pseudo force on this block B will act downward, because we know the pseudo force is always the mass of this block and acceleration of this observer. So acceleration of this observer is A, and the direction of the pseudo force is always opposite to the direction of acceleration of this observer. Since this observer is going upward, so pseudo force will act downward. So this is our equation. This is the free body diagram of block B with respect to observer O. Now the force equation is 40 plus 4A minus T is equal to mass of this block and acceleration of block B as seen by observer O. So this is equal to 40 plus 4A minus T is equal to 4 into acceleration of block B. Since block B is going downward and this block A is going upward, so acceleration, this is block B and this is block A. So acceleration of block, this is observer O, acceleration of block B as seen by observer is 2A. So from here, this is our second equation. So from first and second, we get 4t is equal to 20 plus 2a, and from here we get 40 minus t is equal to 8a minus 4a is 4a. Now if we add these two, we get 40 is equal to 20 plus 6a, or a is equal to 10 by 3 meter per second square. So this is the acceleration of the block with respect to ground. We have calculated this with respect to observer O, who is sitting on block A. This is the non-inertial frame. So acceleration of block B and A with respect to ground will remain same whether the observer is sitting on ground or the observer is sitting on A or on B. Now find the acceleration of two blocks with respect to ground if the pulley is moving with an acceleration g by 2. This pulley is going upward with an acceleration of g by 2. This is A1 with respect to ground. Suppose the observer with respect to ground. We'll solve this question with respect to ground. Now first equation. If we draw the free body diagram of this block A, so A block, the free body diagram is this T, this is weight 20, this is weight 40. So we'll write equation as first equation is T minus 20 is equal to 2A1. This is our first equation from A. For B it is 40 minus T, that is equal to 4A2. The mass of block B is 4 and acceleration is A2 downward. This is our second equation. Now these are the two equations. If we calculate, if we see the unknown, there is three unknown, T, A1 and A2. So one more equation is needed. So for other equation we can see this constraint. So distance traveled by this block A is A1. So we can say A1 must be equal to, we need a string here, is A2 plus, if this is going upward with acceleration g by 2, so the string needed here is g by 2, and g by 2 means it is g. So this is our third equation. This is the constraint relation. These are from these three equations we can say A1, here we get a string, here a string is needed, here a string is needed, as we have already discussed in constraint relation. Now from these three equations we can solve A1, that is equal to T minus 20 divided by 2, and A2 that is equal to 40 minus T divided by 4. If we substitute the value of A1 and A2 in this third equation, we get T minus 20 divided by 2 is equal to 40 minus T divided by 4 plus G means 10. So from this expression we can solve it for T. This comes out to be 2, this becomes 2, and this becomes 20. So from here we can say 2t minus 40 is equal to 40 minus t plus 40. So this will cancel out, we get 3t is equal to 40 plus 40 plus 40, that is 120. So T comes out to be 40 Newton. This is the tension in the string, and if we substitute the value of T here, then it will give me A1. A1 is equal to 40 minus 20 by 2 means 10 meter per second square. In the same way A2, if we substitute the value of A2 here, A2 is 0. So this is the acceleration, means the block B is stationary. This block is going upward with 10 meter per second square, and this block is stationary. This is 10 meter per second square. So these are the three answers. Now this question can also be solved. While sitting on this pulley. With respect to this observer, I will solve this question. Now we know this is our, we will decide our coordinate system. This is our x-axis, this is our y-axis. So this observer is sitting on this pulley, So acceleration of block A with respect to ground is given, it is a1 j cap. Acceleration of B block with respect to ground, that is equal to minus a2 j cap. Acceleration of observer with respect to ground, it is g by 2 means 5 j cap. So acceleration of A with respect to observer can be written as acceleration of A with respect to ground minus acceleration of observer with respect to ground. So this comes out to be acceleration of A with respect to ground is a1. So it is a1 minus 5 j cap. So this is the acceleration of A with respect to O. In the same way, acceleration of B with respect to observer O can be written as acceleration of B with respect to ground minus acceleration of A with respect to ground. So it is equal to minus, it is a2 plus 5 j cap. This is the acceleration of B with respect to ground. So acceleration of B with respect to observer is acceleration of B with respect to ground minus acceleration of O with respect to ground. Now I will draw the free body diagram FBD with respect to observer O. So FBD of block A, this is our block A, this is our block A. Now the tension is acting upward, so this is T, the weight is acting downward, that is 20, and since this observer sitting here, it is going upward with an acceleration of 5 meter per second square. So with respect to this observer, the pseudo force will act downward, and that is equal to 2 into 5, that is 10 Newton. So we will write the equation of motion becomes T minus 20 minus 10 is equal to mass of this block means 2 into acceleration of this is a1 minus 5. So from here we get T minus 30 is equal to 2a1 minus 10, or T minus 20 is equal to 2 times a1. This is the first equation. Now second equation is, we will draw the free body diagram of this block B. Now free body of this block B is, this is our block B. The tension will act upward, the weight will act downward, that is 40 Newton. The pseudo force on this block B, pseudo force on this block B will also act downward, and that is equal to mass of this block means it is 4 multiplied by acceleration of that observer, that is 5. Now due to all these forces, so we can say T minus 40 minus 20 is equal to mass of this block is 4 multiplied by acceleration of this block with respect to observer, and we know the acceleration of block with this observer is minus, it is minus a2 minus 5. This is our second equation. So from here we get T minus 60, that is equal to minus 4a2 minus 20. So from here we get T minus 40 is equal to 4a2. This is our second equation. This is minus. This is our second equation. Now as seen by the observer, the acceleration of block A with respect to observer is equal to acceleration of B with respect to observer minus this. So from here this is the constant. So we can say the acceleration of this term and this term must be equal. So we can say from here a1 minus 5, a1 minus 5 must be equal to a2 plus 5, or a1 is equal to a2 plus 10. This is our third equation. Because with respect to observer, the decrease in length here is increase in length of this string on this side. So with respect to observer, the acceleration of these two blocks are equal and opposite. From this is our third equation. Our first equation was T minus 20 is 2a1. First equation was T minus 20 is equal to 2a1. This was our first equation. from first, second and third equation, we can say A1. From here I can say A1 is t minus 20 divided by 2 is equal to A2. A2 means 40 minus t divided by 4 plus 10. So this comes out to be this 2, this becomes 2 and this becomes 20. So from here we get 2t minus 40 is equal to 40 minus t plus 40. So from here we get 3t is equal to 120 or t is equal to 40 Newton. So the tension in this string is 40 Newton. Now if I substitute the value of t here, I get A1. If I substitute the value of t here, I get A1. So A1 is equal to 20 by 2, that is equal to 10 meter per second square. This is our first answer. If I substitute the value of t here, so A2 comes out to be 0. So this is our second answer, because the acceleration A1 and A2 is with respect to ground. So while we are sitting on ground or we are sitting on pulley, the value of A1, A2 and t will remain same. So these are the answers. Now this block A is of 4 kg. The mass of this block A is 4 kg. The mass of this block B is 2 kg and the mass of block C is again 4 kg. Now we have to calculate the constraint. The constraint, as we know from constraint, if its acceleration is A1, then we can say we will get a string A1 here, and from here we also get a string. So we can say first equation is A1 2 times A1. This is A1, this length is A1, this length is A1. A1 plus A2 is equal to A3. This is the first equation. This is by constraint. Now after this equation, we can say we will draw the free body diagram of the. Let this tension here be T, let this be T1, let this be T2, and let's here it is T2. Here it is T1. So we can say the first equation is T1. We will solve it with respect to ground. So I will write T1 minus 40 is equal to 4A1. This is our second equation. The third equation is T2 minus 20 is equal to 2A2. This is our third equation. From here we can say 40 minus T2 is equal to 4A3. This is our fourth equation. And if we draw the free body diagram of this pulley, since this pulley is massless, so we can say T1 must be equal to T2, because T1 here is acting upward, here it is downward, T2 is acting downward, here it is acting downward. So since we can say T1 must be equal to T2 plus T2. So this is our fifth equation. From all these equations, we can say we will substitute the value of A1 here. So we can write 2 times A1. A1 from here we can say T1 minus 40 divided by 4. This is our A1 plus A2. A2 means it is T2 minus 20 divided by 2. That is equal to A3. A3 means 40 minus T2 by 4. Now from here I can write T1 is also equal to 2T2. So I will substitute it here. So 2 times T1 means 2T2 minus 40 by 4. I will make it 4 here also. This is 2 and this becomes 4. I will cancel this 4 plus 2 times T2 minus 20 is equal to 40 minus T2. Now from here I can write it is 4T2 minus 80 plus 2T2 minus 40 is equal to 40 minus T2. So from here I can write T2 is equal to 80 plus 40 is 160 by 7 Newton. So T2 is 160 by 7 Newton. This is T2. In the same way we can say T1 is equal to from here I can say it is 320 by 7 Newton. This is T1. Now if we know the value of T1 and T2, I will substitute the value of T1 here. From first equation I will get T1 means 320, so it is 320 by 7 minus 40 is equal to 4A1. So this says A1 is equal to it is 320 minus 280, it is 40 10 by 7 meter per second square. So this is A1. In the same way, if I substitute the value of T2 here, it is 160 by 7, then it will give me, from second equation we get 160 by 7 minus, from here 160 by 7 minus 20 is equal to 2A2. So A2 comes out to be 160 minus 140 by 7, that is equal to 20 by 7 into 2 divided by 2 is 10 by 7 meter per second square. This is the value of A2. If I know the value of A1 and A2, I will get the value of A3, and A3 comes out to be 2 times A1. 2 times A1 means 20 by 7 plus 10 by 7, that is 30 by 7 meter per second square. So this is the value of A1, A2 and A3. These are the answers. Now in this question we have to calculate what is the value of M1, means what is the value of this M1 such that 8 kg block B is at rest. So the acceleration of 8 kg block is 0. So let the mass of this block is M1, it is going upward, it is going downward with an acceleration A and A. Let the tension here be T, let the tension here is T. So I can say the first equation is T minus M1G is equal to M1 into A. Since this 8 kg block is stationary, so acceleration of these two must be same. And the second equation is 50 minus T, that is equal to 5A. This is our first equation, this is our second equation. From here I can say this weight of this 8 kg block is 80 Newton, and let this be T0. So this T0 is also equal to this T0. So these two tensions are equal, so we can say T0 is also equal to 2 times T. So T is equal to 40 Newton, because we know the value of T0 is 80, so T is equal to 40 Newton. I will substitute the value of T here 40 Newton, so I get 50 minus 40 is equal to 5A. So from here A comes out to be 2 meter per second square. If I substitute the value of A here, I will get 40 minus M1 into G means 10 is equal to M1 into A means 2. So it will give me M1 is equal to 40 by 12, 40 by 12, or this is 3 by into 10, this is 10 by 3 kg. This is the answer. If the mass of this block M1 is 10 by 3 kg, this 8 kg block will remain stationary, it will go up, and this 5 kg block will go down. Compute the least acceleration. This is compute the least acceleration with which a 50 kg man can slide down a rope if the rope can withstand a tension of 300 Newton. The maximum tension this rope can bear is 300 Newton. So let the tension here is 300 Newton. This is the maximum tension which this rope can bear. The weight of the man will act downward, and that is equal to, since his mass is 50 kg, so it is 500 Newton. So let this man is going downward with some acceleration A. So now we can say the upward force is 300 Newton, the downward pull is 500 Newton. So the 500 Newton minus 300 is equal to mass of this man, that is 50 into acceleration of this man. So A comes out to be 500 minus 300 is 200 divided by 50, that is equal to 4 meter per second square. So this man, the minimum acceleration of this man is 4 meter per second square in downward direction. If this man slides downward with a 4 meter per second square acceleration, then this rope will never break. Now a force F, that is equal to V cross A, is exerted on a particle in addition to the force of gravity, where V is the velocity of the particle and A is a constant vector in horizontal direction. With what minimum speed a particle m must be projected so that it continue to move undeflected? So since velocity here is constant, so if velocity is constant means net force is equal to 0. So we can say force net is mg minus j cap. Let this be our x axis and y axis. The acceleration due to gravity is acting vertical downward, and the force by this is v a into sine theta, and the direction must be j cap. Let angle between v and a is theta. So from here if I say f is 0 means mg must be equal to va sine theta, or from here I can say v is equal to mg by a sine theta. Now this v depends on mg, which is constant. A is also a constant vector which is given in this question, and theta is variable. So if v is minimum then sin theta must be maximum. So minimum speed is mg by a. This is the minimum speed, and in that situation the velocity is perpendicular to this vector. So this is our answer. Find the acceleration of block A and B in the situation shown in the figure. Let the acceleration, since the surface is smooth, let the acceleration of block A be A. Then the acceleration of block B is A by 2, as we have seen this figure in our constant relation. So I will draw the free body diagram of this block A. I will take out this block A from here, put it here. This force is T. The weight is acting downward, it is 20. The normal reaction is acting upward, and due to the vertical force is balanced, so I can say N must be equal to 20, and horizontal force is T, which is equal to 2 into A. This is our first equation. Now for the second block, we will draw the free body diagram. So the tension here is upward, so this is T, that is Tt. The weight here is acting downward, that is 50. So from here I can write the downward force. This is going downward with an acceleration a by 2. So this is a by 2. So the total downward force is 50 minus 2t is equal to 5 into a by 2. So this is our second equation. Now from this first and second equation I can say t is equal to 2a. So we get 50 minus 4a is equal to 5a by 2. So from here I can write 50 is equal to 4a plus 5a by 2, or a is equal to 50 into 2, that is 100, divided by 8 plus 5, that is 13. So a is 100 by 13 meter per second square. This is the acceleration of block A, and acceleration, this can also be written as 10 g by 13, because we know g is also 10. So either this is the answer or this is the answer. In the same way, acceleration of block B is a by 2, that is equal to 5g by 13 downward, or this is 50 by 13 meter per second square, it is downward. A man has fallen into a ditch of width d. The width of this ditch is d. This is d, and the friends are pulling him out using a light rope and two fixed pulleys as shown in this figure, so that the force exerted by each friend on the rope increases as the man moves up. Let this man, at any instant, the man is here, the weight of this man is acting downward, let it be mg. The force exerted by them, let it be F and F. Let this angle be theta. So this is also F. This is also F. So from here we can say, let this angle, if this angle is theta, I think this is also theta. So from here, for vertical equilibrium, we can say first thing is F cos, this term is f cos theta, and the projection of this is also f cos theta. The component of these two forces 2f cos theta is equal to mg. So f is equal to mg by cos theta, mg by 2 cos theta. This is the force exerted by this two man, and as this person moves up theta, as theta increases, the value of cos theta decreases. So the denominator, if denominator decreases, the value of force increases. So as this person is going up, this two friend has to exert more force. So this is the first answer. Now the second one is, find the force when man is at depth h. So we can say the force is equal to mg by 2 cos theta, and from this triangle we can say this distance is d by 2. So cos theta is equal to base means it is h, divide this height is h divided by this length is root over h square plus d square by 4. So I will substitute the value of cos theta here. We get it as mg by 2 into root over cos theta means it is 2 into cos theta means h divided by root over h square plus d square by 4. On solving it, we get this as mg by 4h into root over d square plus 4h square. So this is the force when the depth is h. This is the answer. Now in this question, a monkey B, as shown in the figure, holds the tail of this monkey A. The mass of monkey A is 5 kg. It is 5 kg. The mass of this monkey B is 2 kg. If A can tolerate a tension of, the maximum tension here is 30 Newton. Now we have to calculate what is the minimum force, what is the force should apply on the rope in order to carry this monkey with it. Suppose these two monkey are going upward, suppose this monkey is going upward, so the tension maximum this tail can bear is 30 Newton. So if this monkey is moving slowly, first case, if slowly, then the tension is T1 is equal to M1 plus M2 into G, and that is equal to 70 Newton. M1 is 35 and this is 2, so it is 50 plus 20 is 70 Newton. If this monkey and B are moving slowly on this rope, the tension in the rope is 70 Newton. But if they are accelerating, let the acceleration be A. So monkey B will experience upward force of 30 Newton. So for monkey B I can say 30 minus the weight of this monkey is 20 is equal to mass of this monkey into A. So A comes out to be, this is 10 by 2, that is 5 meter per second square. So the acceleration of this monkey A and B is 5 meter per second square. So now we can say T minus 70 is equal to 7 into A. So T is 70 plus 7 into 5, that is equal to 105 Newton. This is the maximum tension in the string. So in this situation T max is 105 Newton. This is the force. So the tension in the string lies between 70 and 105 Newton, such that the tail of this monkey never breaks. Otherwise, if the acceleration is more than 5, then this tension becomes more than 30, and in that situation this tail will break. So the tension in this string lies between 70 to 105 Newton if these two are moving upward.